My name is Jada Milner, and I'm a birth doula for the YWCA of High Point.
Oh, a birth doula. So what led you to want to be a birth doula?
Um, for me, I've always been interested in birth since I was a little kid, like as long as I can remember. Instead of playing with like baby dolls and being their mom, I would be like the doctor.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's always been something.
yeah, I love that. So what kind of experience do you want women to have at birth?
I want them to have the best experience that they like, however they define it.
So what interested you about the YWCA High Point Doula project?
I like that it's a new program, and it's building just like I'm building with being a doula since I am a new doula.
Yeah.
And then we're just learning as we go.
And is there something that you feel like clients or community members should know about you that they might find interesting?
It's not really professional, but it's personal.
Yeah.
I'm a big animal person.
Yeah.
I have chickens, and they all know their names.
I have chickens too. Okay, what are their names? What are your chickens' names?
Oh man, I have Bernie, who's the rooster, and he comes full force.
Yeah.
And then there's Aspen, Eloise, Daisy, Posey, Penelope, Cleo, and that's it.
What do you do with their eggs? Do you eat a lot of eggs or do you sell them somewhere?
We eat their eggs,
Yeah.
and I give them away if people need them.
Yeah, I love it. So you have your own little flock,
Mhm.
chicken flock. That's lovely.
Definitely.
I love it. That's it.
That's it.
You did it.
Hi, my name is Alicia Fairley. I go by Nala, and I'm a birth doula at YWCA in High Point, North Carolina.
And what led you to want to become a birth doula?
Originally, I came to Greensboro, North Carolina to be a marine biologist and study at UNCG, but I realized that it wasn't what I loved and my passion. And I got into birth and really fell in love with that and wanted to become a birth doula after delivering my son.
I love that. Where did you train?
I trained with Kara Kimball in Charlotte, North Carolina. I did a 3-day training with her. And then after, I hired Brittany Curry as my mentor.
So what interested you in the YWCA High Point Doula project?
I love that it's a new program and that it's something that's going to support women without, like, that aren't financially stable to support themselves. So it's a free program that supports women and provides birth doula and everything else they need for support.
Is there something else that you feel like clients should know about you or you want them to know about you?
I feel like they should know that I'm very passionate. So sometimes it can come off as aggressive, but not in a bad way. It's just the fact of I fall in love instantly, and I want to make sure you're fully taken care of and provide everything that you need during your journey of pregnancy, birth, and postpartum.
Anything else you feel like we should know?
My name is Deanna Floyd. I'm the current community health worker at the YWCA in High Point, and I'm also a trained birth doula.
Oh, what led you to want to be a trained birth doula?
The Black maternal health crisis, and what's her name? I want to say Eartha Kitt, but that's not the name. Was Erica Badu? Yeah, that's where I first heard about it, and it seemed cool, so I wanted to try it.
Yeah, tell us more about the Black maternal health crisis. What kinds of things are happening?
Basically, Black women aren't being listened to before, during, and after birth, and they're either dying or it's leading to them having these huge health crises and their children not having the care that they need in order for them to last the first year after being born.
And what about the community health worker position? What was interesting to you about that?
Oh my gosh, everything was interesting about that. Okay, I love the doula aspect. I love working in the community. That's what I've always wanted to do. And when I was at UNCG, I was working under this lady. I don't know if I'm supposed to say her name or not, but she was a community health worker. Oh, I can say her name. Her name was Claire Poindexter, and she was the best program director that I've ever had. She led with empathy, and she allowed us to make mistakes. And we also felt like we were doing something important for the community and not just giving things away and not really looking at the scope of where we're at. And I love that she gave me resources at the drop of a hat, and I wanted to be her.
Okay, so what about the YWCA High Point Doula project most scares you?
Oh man, I like to be prepared, and I'm so scared of not being prepared. But we have a great team, so like I was asking them for advice and everything, so I feel like I could text them and you at any moment when I have any questions.
Absolutely. And what about the doula project itself? What is something that excites you about?
Oh, definitely going straight into the Black maternal health crisis. I love that that's our target demographic and that we already have a relationship with the hospital, so I'm excited.
Is there something else that you feel like clients or community members should know about you that they wouldn't expect?
Oh gosh. Okay. Let's see. Should know. Is this like a personal or a professional question?
Either one.
Okay, oh Lord. Well, I guess something that they should know about me so that it's not so confusing when they meet me. I laugh to deal with my emotions. So if it's an awkward moment or something I don't really know what to do with, I'll laugh eventually. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the moment and that I don't know what to do in that moment, and that's how I'm dealing with it. So
is there anything you want people to know about a birth you've attended maybe, or the experience that you want people to have when they're in our program?
Oh, okay, let me see. Kind of birth that I would want our clients to have. I want them to have a birth where they feel taken care of, listened to. I know that every birth isn't going to be this serene moment from heaven, but I just want them to feel like the people around them were there for them and advocated for them, and that people had their back.
That's it. Thank you.
Tell us about yourself, please.
My name is Mary Beth Faust, and I am the Maternal Health Director at the YWCA of High Point.
Wait, are you also trained to
I
be a birth
am.
doula? Oh my gosh, okay, so why did you want to become a birth doula?
So I trained as a birth doula in 2020, and I feel like COVID really gave me the opportunity to do the training that I had been watching and looking for. I, too, like Jaden, was also sort of the girl that played with the babies. I wasn't the doctor, but I loved babies and families, and did some traveling in college and came across sort of a midwifery model of care in other countries and just really felt like a kinship to the women that were birthing there, and I wanted that same kind of feeling to be happening in the United States, and just had a difficulty finding it. So I used a midwife with my first daughter, and I had a doula. Her name was Melanie, and I loved her, and I didn't use one with my second because I was in a different scenario, and I wish that I had, because I ended up sort of having a traumatic experience. I gave birth in an ambulance close to the hospital in High Point, and just didn't want that to have to happen to any other woman because I felt like I hadn't been heard. So I want people to feel like they're heard, and to feel empowered by bringing a new life into the world. So when I was hired, actually when I interviewed for the position, I told Heidi that I felt like the YWCA of High Point should pursue something in birth work. I didn't know what it was going to look like, neither did she. She just kind of pushed that off. Okay, Mary Beth, I hear you. I think that's wonderful. And we'll see what happens, because for me, the intersection of empowering women and eliminating racism, I keep coming back to birth, because birth is social justice work. Every woman deserves to birth in the way that she wants, or that a birthing individual wants. So that was something that I sort of just threw out into the radar. And then all of a sudden we got a request for proposals, or a request for application for this pilot program through the state of North Carolina. And Heidi and I looked at each other, and she said, you have to apply. And we both thought, okay, this is just the beginning. They won't choose us. It's going to be fine. We will have all of our ducks in a row for the next time, and we'll know a little bit more about what we want. But we really felt like doulas, this is something that could work. It's working. It's working to change outcomes, particularly for women of color, but for every woman. And so we applied, and we got the grant. And so we're really excited. I'm really excited. I'm also somewhat terrified, because we're sort of transferring planes, right? Like, we're not medical. The YWCA is not a medical facility, but we have been in the High Point community for 121 years trying to empower women. And I feel like this is just a really cool new step for us to change the landscape of High Point and of birthing individuals in High Point. And I'm really hopeful that that our work, sort of trailblazing into this space, will create something really meaningful.
Incredible. And what is something interesting about you that you would like people to know?
I don't think I'm really that interesting, but I'm an ordained Baptist pastor, so I'm actually a reverend. I don't really use that title very often because for me it wasn't about the title, it's about sort of the way that I try to move about in the world. But I feel like that definitely colors everything that I do, and particularly for our doula clients, I'm really hopeful that they know that we really do believe that their baby matters, and that they matter, and that the day or night that their baby is born is a really, really thin space on earth where God sort of comes down and touches and says, look, I am creating new life everywhere around you, even here, even in this space. So yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't know about me. I also have chickens, and I wanted chickens so bad. So we embraced the absurdity of quarantine and we got chickens. So we currently have 6 chickens in our backyard, and they also have names. We have Queen Barb, Poppy, Starlight, Lucky, Grace, and Rose. And they are a mess. But they're my golden egg laying girls, so I love them a lot. You may be wondering how you can get a doula. So we have a website through the YWCA of High Point, YWCAHP.com. On that page, there's an interest form, and we would welcome you to complete that interest form. You'll get a call from Deanna, our community health worker, and then we'll do our best to match you with Nala or Jaden, one of our doulas, who qualifies for these doula services, you might be wondering. Anyone who's planning to birth at Atrium Wake Forest High Point Medical Center, anyone who is at high risk for preterm labor, who has other psychosocial health factors that puts them at risk, anyone who has high financial need, and really anyone who desires to have birth doula support at the birth of their baby. We would love for you to let us know and see how we can help prepare you for that birth and be present with you in that space.